Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today we are cooking something sweet and with fruit, and it is called honey roasted pears with caramel and pecan sauce. It will serve 6. Here's what we need. We're also going to need our oven on 180 and a small saucepan plus a large roasting tray. Come on in, I'm going to talk you through these ingredients. So first of all, we are going to need 6 firm pears, which we are going to peel and quarter and lay in the roasting dish. 30 grams of butter, 2 tablespoons of honey, which is solidified in there, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a third of a cup of pecans. I haven't got quite a third of a cup, but I'm using them up. 3/4 of a cup of thick cream, a third of a cup of lightly packed brown sugar, that is in there, and some extra thick cream to serve. So first of all, we are going to peel the pears and then we're going to cut them into quarters. So let's start with that. While we're doing that, we can get a little bit ahead with your pecans. Spread them on a baking tray. And we're going to pop those in the oven for 5 minutes, and then we're going to cut them up so they can go in now. So to peel the pears is just literally get your veggie peeler and down you go. I'll just do one and then I'll finish the rest off. I didn't want to do them earlier because I can't remember if pears are one of those fruits that if you peel it and leave it, it goes brown. So I sort of just got everything else ready earlier. I've been trying to have a little bit of a chill day, but get things done as well. It's pretty bad up here today because they're doing hazard reduction for bushfires. We're coming into winter almost, and with my eyes the way they are, it's not really good for my eyes. Quite bad last night when I was in Katoomba. So that's the pear there. So cut it in half. You want to take the core out of it and then just cut it into quarter like that. And then we're just going to layer them in the dish. Now I went with a bigger dish, and the recipe did actually recommend that you have something that can go stovetop to the oven, but the problem is with that, I don't have one of those, so I'm just doing mine the way I'd do anything else that is both methods, just in a roasting pan and a saucepan. So we just got to make sure that we basically have the seeds out of the middle. And just this last one, and then we just repeat that with the others. Beautiful. So we're like that. So that's our pecans after 5 minutes. We're just going to crumble them up after. So I've got 4 more pears to do. So while I'm doing the pears, I can actually have the sauce starting to melt. So let's bring over the saucepan and get that part ready. So into this saucepan, we want the butter, honey, and cinnamon. So the butter, the honey, which I'm going to have to try and get out, and the cinnamon, which is half a teaspoon. We're just going to melt this over a low heat. I've probably gone with the biggest saucepan on the planet, but that doesn't matter though. 2 tablespoons of honey. Hopefully this will come out easily. And then we're just going to do this on a low heat until the butter melts, and then we're going to be pouring it over the pears. So it may be a while trying to get honey out of this. Oh, we're starting. I always have this problem with honey. It always goes like a solid mass. But anyway, we'll get there. Just going to rest it like that. Okay, that's close enough to 2 tablespoons. That was very painful. So get yourself a spoon. We're going to put this over a medium to low heat just until the butter melts. That's it there. Okay, so the pears look like this. They're all in one layer. Well, they are now. The butter has melted. So pour that over the top. And then we're going to bake it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And we're going to turn it in a little while. We want to basically bake them until it's all golden. And I will see you soon. So we want to chop up the pecans. So one way to do it is to pop it on a chopping board. The other way is to get out a mortar and pestle, which is the way I'm going to do it. They don't need to be super chopped up, but just a little bit smaller. So let's do this. So I just use this because it's easier. And we're just going to make a crumb to go over the top. Now, if you have one of the pans that you can go from stovetop to oven, you won't need to do this next step, but because I don't, I'm using a saucepan. So into your saucepan, you will want to add the cream, which was the 3/4 cup, and you want to add your 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And then what we are going to do is we're going to add the juice from the pan, which will be just the honey residue. And that is going to go into here. And then we're going to simmer it for about 8 minutes or until we get a nice thick caramel coloured sauce. So I only gave these 15 minutes because the pears were a bit soft. So this is the step now where you will add things to this, but because this can't go on the stovetop, I've got to do things in reverse. So we've got to very carefully hold back the pears and just get the honey syrup into here. So my best way to do this is going to be to use the slotted spoon, which is in the sink because I was cooking something else. So I found the other one. So just tilt it very carefully. Make sure the pears don't go in. Just get all the juice into there. All right. So we've got that. We're just going to put the brown sugar in and then let's get cooking our sauce. So when the sauce has boiled and it's thick, you can tip it over your pears and then sprinkle with the pecans and serve immediately with the cream. So this is what we're looking at here. There we go. I'm going to sprinkle the pecans over the top, which is these. And then just dish up with a dollop of cream. If you don't want cream, you can use ice cream or gelato. All right. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been honey roasted pears with caramel and pecan sauce. I will catch you on the next adventure. Bye.